Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday, August 27th, 2023, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Now Mind You podcast. I'm TJ,
I'm Bryce.
and you'll notice that one of us is missing. Last week it was me. This week it is Matt.
Yeah.
Stuff happens, man.
Yeah.
Scheduling conflict, but there is a reason why there's three of us, right? We always are able to
Exactly.
cover each other's backs.
Yep. And don't
Um,
worry, I will double up the ignorance to cover Matt's as a good friend should. Yes, indeed.
Oh, on that note, in terms of, well, as always, there will be some spoilers ahead. So if you have not read these chapters, you want to wait until you read them to check this out. You do what you got to do. Consider this your little buffer. So up until after this, it's spoiler city. As
Oh
far
yeah.
as announcements are concerned, though, what we got in terms of the docket for today? We got Jujutsu Kaisen, we got Ippo, we got Chainsaw Man, we got Sakamoto Days, we got My Hero. We'll obviously talk about what our favorite chapter was this week, whether it was in the docket or outside of the docket. And then, of course, we'll finish off with our topic of the week, which is what this week, Bryce.
A manga we like but don't want to see as an anime. And this one was very easy.
I'm super curious now.
Yeah.
With that, though, Bryce, we're going to switch it up a little bit. Do you
Mm-hmm.
want to take us into Jujutsu Kaisen?
Sure. Let's go into Jujutsu Kaisen. So
Oh wait, my
we're
bad, my bad, my bad. I'll do
I
Jujutsu
can
Kaisen. I already messed up the order. Like, listen up, guys. We talked about this before we started the show, and I'm already messing it up. Wait, hold on. I'm calling it audible. No, Bryce, take us into Sakamoto Days. There we
You're
go.
going into Sakamoto days. Okay.
Yes, yes,
All
yes, yes,
right.
yes,
See,
yes.
I'm
My bad.
excited. Now,
that
now I got some. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. We got some good stuff today. We just everywhere with it.
right, right,
So
right.
following the last chapter, Kashima is now beginning to talk. We start off with chapter 132.
Mm-hmm.
Kashima kind of has like a little flashback of Uzuku kind of talking to himself. Um, he's assuming that it's Ria. I don't think it's her. Um, I just don't think it's. I don't think it's her.
Oh,
I
you
think
mean
it's a
Leon? Yeah.
yeah, Rion. I don't think it's. I don't think it's Rion he's talking to. But we can talk into that a little bit later. But Kashima is talking with the Sakamoto group. We find out that the reason he attacked the lab, Kashima attacked the lab in the first place, was to use Shin to read Slur's mind, which is a good callback to what we saw before when Shin tried to read it and Rion like cut him off.
Right.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, you don't need to be in here." And then we find out, pretty much it's just kind of more of a exposition chapter.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I used the right word for that. Anyway, uh, yeah, Kashima pretty much breaks down the big event that Uzuki or Slur is planning, which is pretty much an assassination on the current chairman of the JAA,
Mm-hmm.
which will be at a assassin exhibit with like a bunch of artifacts from assassins dating back centuries. This reminds me. This looks like John Wick 4. I don't know if anybody's seen that
Yes,
movie, but if you've
yes,
seen
yes,
it,
yes, yes, yes.
definitely there's a scene in there that looks exactly like this. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then we switch over to Hesuke. That's Hesuke, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we switch over to Hesuke, who's practicing his shot, but unfortunately, because of what happened, he's kind of got a little PTSD. He's not hitting the bullseye, and then he gets kidnapped by the JAA, the top people of the
The
JAA. They
order.
get him in a car,
Yeah.
yeah, and the order, and they pretty much just demand that he tells them everything about Hio's killer, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where the chapter. We also find out that there's a sniper in the group,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting for me because I'm thinking this is going to turn into a what
Yeah.
training arc eventually, and we just got a glimpse of Hesuke's teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who that is, how they are as a person, we haven't seen yet, but damn, that's going to be interesting. Now I'm just thinking about who's going to train who's going to train Sheen, who's going to train Yeah, this is just gonna be interesting. Maybe Lou might actually get some training now.
Oh my goodness, she's been on the bench for so long. It's not even
So
funny
long,
now.
so it'd be cool for her to get something going.
Low key
Um,
giving her the 10-10 treatment.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But ultimately, this was just a really good chapter. Just kind of a setup for what we're getting into next. One thing I'm noticing about Sakamoto is these arcs are ridiculously short.
Yeah,
Um,
they stack up
I
quick too.
yeah, like I seriously thought that we'd be in last arc like for a
For a
few
while.
chapters,
Yeah,
but
same. I
but
thought
it's
Thailand was
just
going to be lit for a little bit.
yeah, but it was just a subtle reveal, a big reveal,
Hmm.
um, and then we just gonna keep going. So it's great. It's great. I'm loving it. I'm down for the ride. Sakamoto Days ain't missing. Um, I'm gonna pass it to you, TJ. What you think?
It's about to go down at Assassin Con 2023. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
oh yeah.
man, 132 chapters, huh? Damn, that's crazy.
You know what's crazy?
Where's my anime announcement?
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, that quote though that Uzuki had in mid convo with what we presume to be Leon, although I'm of the same opinion as you, where I think there could be multiple. I don't think it's just limited to Uzuki and Leon in that body. Now, with that being
Mm-hmm.
said, this quote, it'll all be over soon, and then you'll finally ellipses, right? What?
Yep.
Be able to rest, go back into your body that we had cryogenically frozen like Domon Kashu's dad in G Gundam. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's just keep that quote in our back pockets because it
Yeah.
seems like there is some type of condition there surrounding their predicament, if you will.
Yeah.
Now,
And there's
go
there's
ahead.
there's a lot going with this psychic thing. Like the psychic thing is starting to really play a big part of Sakamoto Days. So
Yeah,
I'm just keeping that in mind.
yeah. Um, with that too, although Killmonger wannabe Kashima wanted to wipe out the JAA to create a world without assassins, I was thinking about it, right? What does that look like? Let's say the perversion with Slur and Uzuki about let's just destroy it all is taken out of the equation and it goes back to the original idea of just destroying the JAA and eliminating all assassins.
Mm-hmm.
They would still exist, Killmonger and the X group, right? What does the exit strategy look like? Or were they envisioning a world without assassins, but they were in power? Like it doesn't feel like they would have taken themselves out too, right? It
Yeah,
feels like they would have probably positioned themselves to be in power of this new world that they created. Um,
or it's more like a fuck up the world and just
Watch
be
it
off the
burn.
grid.
Right, right.
Like yeah, we it's utter chaos and we're not gonna be part of it.
Well,
We
that's
just
what it sounds like it's gonna be like now, right? With Slur, it seems like it deviated from the idea of what
oh
Kashima deemed
yeah,
his sense of justice to let's just
yeah,
watch it all burn after we destroy it.
yeah.
Um, but I
Maybe
was
that's what he
considering
sees as justice.
well, no, that's not what Kashima sees as justice. That's also what Slur sees as
Yeah,
the ultimate vision, right? I thought
yeah.
if it was Kashima's vision, like, did he also see himself in charge of this new world where his justice was reigning
Oh, I see what you're
supreme?
saying.
Um, Also, we got to talk about how Slur, with this new vision, or which Kashima deems as a digression, right? He went full Johan. He's just like, wait, what if we just take out everybody? Which is
Yep.
insane, but that is what it is. Now, I really like how hot tempered Amane is. He's just trying to get results at the end of the day, and he doesn't
It
have any
really
patience
is.
for shenanigans. But it's also kind of funny. Um, I get the
Yeah,
feeling that I don't know if Halloween is really celebrated like that outside of the US, but I find that in a few series I've been noticing that October 31st always ends up being a day for an event. We've seen this in Jujutsu Kaisen, I feel like. And I feel like we've seen this in other things too. I just can't name it as of right now. But now we're seeing another Halloween event about to go down with Assassin Con 2023. Also, with the pseudo reveal of the sniper, I feel like that hit one of the tropes that you talked about too, Bryce, where they're mentioned and they're not mentioned.
hmm
They're not intro. They're just like not
Pronoun
unlocked
game.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, they also immediately gave him a name, but it seemed like the same thing. It was like, oh wait, he's back? No, no way. He doesn't really like talking to people though.
Yeah.
Uh, now a thing that really stuck out to me. I'm glad to see this loose end of Slur's alleged older brother Asaki getting looped back in, because we were introduced to this person in the flashback with them holding Gaku hostage, right? It's like, hey, if you don't kill Flubber dude, what's his name? Uh Not Katakiri. That's from One Piece. I'm so mad at myself if I can't think of his name.
I'm trying to think myself. So
Basically,
uh,
basically the Sakamoto speedster with his flubber
yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah. Pump up
Um,
kicks.
yes.
I'm
Oh,
gonna get his name.
now I
I'm
gotta
gonna
go
find it.
back.
I'm
Now
gonna
I got
find it.
it's gonna bother me too. Hold on. Go back to 118.
Kendaka.
Okay. Kindaka, thank you, Bryce. Right. So back when he was holding Gaku hostage, if Uzuki didn't take out Kindaka, right?
Mhm.
So I personally feel that we need more context into the whole uh how this all came to a head with Slur trying to destroy it all, because it also seems very pointed at the fact that Asaki is the head of the JA, and we know now that Al Kamar, that orphanage, was essentially a factory pumping out kids to be order level assassins. How
Yep.
does Asaki fit into that, right? Is he a product of that factory, or was he a director of that factory? Either way, there's clear beef there. Let's get a
Yep.
little bit more context. I also want more flashbacks on what went down with what ultimately ended up with Rion and Uzuki sharing a body. Like, give us that flashback, yo. I mean, I don't think it's gonna take anything away from the plot if we get that. I'm just curious, bro. I was like, I need to know what's good. Now, I'm liking that Heisuke, as you pointed out, he's got that PTSD and he's working through the trauma, but we also need to highlight the significance of what it means that he's missing shots. Because remember, this is a sniper that was able to snipe a railgun bullet with a ricochet shot. He's not an
Yep.
ordinary sniper. Like, well, apparently this Katahime character, who, nice of you to point out, Bryce, because I didn't even think about it that way. That could be a training arc coming up. Might be the
Yeah.
next level up for Heisuke, right? But
Yeah.
Heisuke's got to be up there. I mean, you're using a regular ass, gunpowder powered bullet to take out a railgun bullet is insane with
I
your
think I
naked
disagree,
eye
man.
too. Hmm?
I disagree. I think he is. I think when it comes to assassins like a Sakamoto, I don't think he's nowhere near that. I don't think.
No, I'm not talking about him being an assassin. I mean, just his sniper ability is got to
Yeah,
be S tier. If you're able to use your naked eye to take out a railgun bullet, like
I don't think so, man. I don't
that's
think so.
S tier. A
In
railgun bullet,
Sakamoto's
Bryce?
world, in Sakamoto's world, bro, I feel like there's a dude that can snipe you with a goddamn rubber band.
Bro, he's not. Well, no,
No
I'm not
problem.
disagreeing with that. But I'm saying, but Heisuke could be that dude though. That's what I'm saying. Because remember, he was also able to do the ricochet shot while having sand in his eyes, bounce the bullet off of Hio's jaw into Kumanomi's was it her arm? Whatever. But he got Kumanomi off of a ricochet shot that he bounced off while not being really able to see. Come on, dog. Even for
I'm a
Sakamoto's world, that's pretty insane.
I'm gonna put it like this. There's an old dude that could cut a building in half. I think if there's somebody with a gun on Takamura's level, I can't put Hesuke in that same
We
class.
don't know that the sniper is Takamura level. In fact, we seem to see that a lot of the people in the order aren't even really at Takamura's level, which is saying something.
Right. But he is a sniper and he's in the order.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you. All I'm saying is that that sniper is probably even higher up than Heisuke, and Heisuke might have a chance to level up to that level if the training arc ends up going down. But I'm
Yeah,
saying, like, as a pure sniper, Heisuke's got to be able to. He holds the record. Remember, he holds the record at the JCC.
that's true. That's true. That's
Um,
true.
but with that being said, uh, I think it's weird how they were able to get the jump on Hayskate. Like they must have pulled up in a Prius, or an electric vehicle, because they got him instantly. Like he didn't even hear them.
Right.
Also, did you peep the continuity on Shishiba's left hand? He's got two prosthetic fingers from his battle with Mr. Jazz Music himself, Yotsumura, right?
Oh shit.
With that being said, like, they pulled up
That's hard
on
though.
Heisuke, and they're saying it's like, hey, we noticed that you got into a fight with. They didn't say Kumanomi, they just said a member of Slur's group or whatever. Give us the deets. But why can't
Right.
they just say it's like, hey, we're doing this for Hio. Like it's okay to admit that you're hurting for your boy. Like I don't know, but
I feel like
you
they
gotta be
just are
hard boiled.
incapable. Yeah.
Gotta be
It's a
hard
hard
boiled.
boiled world. That's how they
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
Like you notice how what's his name? How Shishiba and Satoru they were fighting, and it was like, damn, yeah, y'all don't want to fight, but y'all just so hard, boy. You can't just say like, yo, I don't want to fight you. That's
Right,
what it feels like. He was like,
right.
man, I know you. I know this is their way of like consoling dude. Like I know you fucked with dude too.
Yeah,
It's sad. But why don't you give us some details, bro? We
right,
gonna drop you back off.
right. As
Kill this.
opposed, but it's
Kill this.
like, no, no, no. Jazz music, cigarette smoke. Um,
Right.
anyway, I'm excited to see what goes down next. It looks like we're gonna be embarking on a new arc. Let's get that anime announcement though.
Yeah,
Uh,
we do.
with that, is it cool if I take us into Ippo real quick?
Oh, here, sir. Take us into Ippo.
All right, Hajime no Ippo. We're talking chapter 1432, of course, by George Morikawa, titled "The Ideal Partner." Where did we leave off? It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt, Pepper, and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures up my wall. Every set. No, I'm kidding. Basically like the flashback to Mashiba's youth, his journey essentially to ultimately lead up to this international title shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I were to summarize it real quick, Mashiba needs a training partner. They're running low. The supply is low, but the demand is high. Who has the right skill set to help them out? The chapter to me could have been called Doi, right? Ippo, just go help this man, because that's what it ultimately comes down to. It's like, Ippo, you clearly have this skill set. Everyone knows that you're the dude who can help him out the most, but you're not seeing that yourself for some reason, right? It ends up being Takamura being like, idiot, go help him, right? To me, this will be another opportunity to show how Ippo's coaching brain has caused another evolution in him as a fighter, right? That the scene where he's playing with model kits, that Morikawa also used for dick jokes, was funny, but it also gave Ippo insight to come up with a winning strategy against Rosario for Mashiba, because he ended up creating like these two Zaku type, Gundam gun, or these two Zaku type mobile suits, because Zaku's are not Gundams, right? But he assembled these two mobile suits that ended up matching Rosario's body type as well as Mashiba's body type, and then he kind of had them running scenarios. Essentially, he was playing with action figures and figured out a way to formulate a strategy for Mashiba. Now, with that being said, is Mashiba going to be receptive to having Ippo as a training partner? Who knows? And what else could this unlock in Ippo once he gets an opportunity to dive into the Southpaw waters? Do we see a switch hitting Ippo in the future? Is that the answer to the Ricardo question? Because ultimately it ends up coming down to when Ippo, if it ends up going this route, if Ippo challenges for the world title again, he's got to face Ricardo Martinez, because ain't no way Sendo's winning. Sendo ain't the main character, right? It's got to be Ippo. Will he be able to defeat Ricardo? I digress. I want to see how these storylines end up developing for Mashiba in the immediate future, because it seems like his title shot is the first one up. And then, of course, ultimately Sendo when he goes up against Ricardo. There will be a break for Ippo next week, so we won't see Ippo for at least another week or two. That was it, though. That was all my thoughts on Ippo. Let's switch it over. Bryce, could you take us into Chainsaw Man right quick?
Let's go into Chainsaw Man because I'm very interested in what's going on.
It's a lot going on. There's a
It's a
lot
lot
going on.
going on.
It was almost like a "it's above me now" type chapter, but all right, here we
Yeah,
go.
exactly. We chapter 140 of Chainsaw Man. We get taken to the Chainsaw Church.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting building. It literally just has Denji's face like right out of the building. Picture Avengers Mansion, just when
Hmm.
instead of the big ass A,
Yes,
the Chainsaw Man
that
head.
is the description. This is a
Yeah,
high rise, and it is not cheap looking either. It's yeah,
yeah.
you hit the nail
No,
on the head
they
with that
got
Avengers
money.
Mansion
They got money.
comparison. Hmm.
Um, and it didn't hit me until like reading it and actually at the church. This is basically like a cult. It's a
Yeah,
cult.
yeah.
Um, yeah, we're introduced to the guide, Nobana Higashiyama,
Hmm.
Nobama Higashiyama. And we're given a tour of the church, and we find out some interesting things about why there aren't adults around.
Hmm.
Uh, Quote, the adult's mental faculties are diminished because of an American ultraviolet ray weapon in Japan's air. That's why us students are forming the Chainsaw Man Church together. Uh, yeah, the
Sounds
America's the
like the Gun
prequels,
Devil, low key.
right? Pretty much, like some type of devil.
Right.
Fucking what's it? Climate change devil or some shit. Jeez. Um, So pretty much Denji unfortunately finds out his way of getting laid. He have to get married. Um he'd have to get married at the chapel, and he's not for that. Denji's trying to be trying to live wild and free. He ain't trying to be married. Denji on his hot boy summer shit. He on his city boy
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Um so yeah, he's not happy about that, and he basically is just like, yo, y'all are full of shit. Um, and we get like this interesting conversation in which it seems like the dogma of the church is just kind of laid there and to make people to just make these kids subservient. And
yeah,
then we're introduced to this very weird dude, Barum. And we kind of have like him being silly, but also like threatening,
yeah,
saying that he could have Denji's people touched. Um,
yeah.
oh no, not Denji's specifically. He was threatening
Asa,
Asa, like, yo,
Asa and MC
she a
Hammer shit.
problem. We can handle it.
Yeah,
And Denji basically gets out of there. Very weird chapter. I'm definitely skipped a couple of points, unfortunately, but yeah, like it's very interesting how this plays out between just Denji's life right now. It just seems like he has all this power and everyone's trying to control it and find a means to kind of keep him on a leash. Uh Kind of still kind of have that Makima feeling to it without
yeah,
Makima being around.
yeah,
Um well, ironically enough, Makima, well, the reincarnated Makima is his little sister. So, like, how that plays out with him is even weirder now because you could just go home and bring her there, and I'm pretty sure this problem would be solved. But you shouldn't do that. It's evil. Um, yeah, yeah. Denji leaves, and that's the chapter. Like I said, very interesting. The church. It's interesting what's happening with the devil, the devil fighting organization. Um, just kind of where this chapter's going, where this whole arc is going is pretty interesting. I am officially at the I give up trying to like have theories and shit. I'm just going for the ride. Super good chapter. I'm gonna pass it to TJ.
um, one thing that hit me as I was reading this, like Nobana, the guide, he reminded me of Kobeni. And peep this,
Mm,
they have the same last name, Bryce. I looked up Kobeni and I was like, wait a minute, Higashiyama. And on the official wiki, it's saying that he's actually Kobeni's little brother. So it looks like the fear, the
oh,
cowardice is a family trait.
yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm with it. I'm definitely with it. We need that family still around. Kobeni, no, Kobeni's died. Kobeni died, didn't she?
No, she was working at the fast food restaurant, I feel like, and then after Chainsaw Man did his thing and she kept on getting everybody but herself killed, I think she just
She just retired.
yeah, I think she
Put
was
her back.
done. But I don't think she's dead.
Well, that's good. That's good. Maybe
Um,
that's why he was so happy to see him because y'all was because you and my sister's still alive.
right.
Yeah.
The other thing too is like you, I was kind of surprised at how kind of well off the church is, the cult,
Yeah.
because it's like this is a high-rise church. How do they build it so fast and so ornately? They got chainsaw themed pews. There's what appears to be a Denji statue in the chapel, or a stained glass version of him. I think it's probably
Deep.
a statue though, right?
Yeah. And they deep
Also,
in there.
yeah, and the chainsaw head on the building, it seems to be run predominantly by students. So how the hell did they get the funding? But I guess they're fleecing the adults, right?
Mm-hmm.
Denji's all about the old hit it, quit it, never put a ring on it, right? Pretty sure that I so the new guy, Barum or whatever, I originally thought that he was a former Katana Devil, Yakuza Katana Devil, and then devils get reborn all the time in this series. So I was like, oh, it explains maybe why he wouldn't recognize Denji, which was
Mm-hmm.
my initial impression. And then going into the dangerous talk about tearing up Tokyo or threatening Asa, killing Asa, so on and so forth, in an attempt to pull Denji back into the game. Now, after I thought about it again, though, there were some things that kind of look like hints. Hear me out.
Yes.
The dude's build, somewhat muscular, somewhat tall, and the fact that his sleeves are rolled up and we're only seeing his forearms. What have we only seen of the other Chainsaw Devil? Forearms and a muscular build. Oddly
Uh,
enough, why does he know that Denji has a starter on his chest already? It seems like Denji's identity is secret, but it's not.
no, it
Uh
seems like a lot of people know who Denji is.
Right. It's like watching any of the DC live action shows or any of the Marvel live action shows or movies. Like, our secret identity is just not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Um, where is Yoshida in all of this? Is he not following Denji into this Chainsaw Man church? Because clearly that church would run against his wishes of Denji just sticking to the normal life, right? So where is he when Denji's kind of being led into this cult? Is my question, right?
Yeah, man. I just think we it's this. You know what's interesting?
Hmm.
Uh, I think we are we the author is doing a very good job in like bringing in so many new characters and just realizing that they have some. It's very rare you could just see a chainsaw man character and just take them for who they are.
Hmm.
Um, so like bringing in characters like this Bimmy, bringing in this dude that Denji saved, and now he's just like trying to be his friend.
Mm-hmm.
Just bringing in all these people while you still have like we don't know who Denzel it really is. We don't know who the Black Chainsaw Man is. We don't
It's
know.
it's always gonna
We
be
don't,
funny.
we don't know. We know we've seen two of the Supreme Devil, well, three of the Supreme Devils. There's still one more, so death is somewhere.
Right.
We know he may show up, he or she may show up. We just don't know what the fuck they're gonna look like, or how the fuck they're gonna act.
Right.
So it's
There are
all
known
this
knowns and
tension.
there are unknown unknowns, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's all this. Oh man, I am the unknown king.
That's why I got that quote from you, the old
Yeah,
Donald Rumsfeld.
yeah. It's just very interesting. So much tension and how this plays out with Denji and Asa. I have no idea. But
Mm,
damn, I'm down for the ride. This dude might be Denzel. Um,
mm.
yeah, this dude might be Denzel. You're right.
It's just like the sleeves and the build are what kind of made me think, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the end of the day, it just felt like he was doing some reverse psychology to manipulate Denji into joining the group, the cult.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it also looked like Sword Devil wasn't really in on it. Like, he was just bringing
Nah,
Denji in, but it didn't feel like he was in on the whole manipulation part.
nah. I think
Uh,
Sword Devil's just genuinely trying to be his friend. I think
right.
that's the
Like you
he's the
said, he's the
Sasuke
one
to
who unchained him from Makima. So it's like,
yeah,
hey, get in on this, player. They got
yeah.
food and chicks.
And
Like,
if he's trying to have a normal life, you need a best friend who
right,
kind of with you on that, and that just might be him.
right.
That's the Sasuke to his Naruto.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a toxic relationship.
That's the Gadget That's the oh shit. What's another one? What's another good one?
A healthy one.
A healthy one. I don't
I'd
think
say
there's
the Shikamaru to his Naruto would probably be
Shikamaru to his Naruto.
within that
Yeah,
universe. You know what I mean?
yeah. Let's do that. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I got nothing else on Chainsaw Man, bro.
Need.
And should we go into Jujutsu Kaisen?
Let's go into Jujutsu Kaisen.
All right. This was definitely a less nosebleedy chapter. When I say nosebleed, I'm talking about us who review it. It was definitely a less nosebleed chapter for us. But Jujutsu Kaisen, as always, by Gege Akutami. We're going into chapter 233 in Human Makio Shinjuku Showdown Part 11. Where do we leave off? Mahoraga. That's all. How would I summarize this? Ain't no fair ones being shot around here.
Nope.
No fair ones being shot around here. My review isn't going to be hella long. I know my Jujutsu Kaisen reviews sometimes exceed my Sakamoto reviews. But here's the thing. I'm just getting into it. I could talk about the whole chapter, but really here's what it comes down to for me. The fighting was crazy. Gojo is not even phased when it's now 3 against 1. Now I thought Mahoraga was the only chimera type of Shikigami for the Zenin clan, but looks like Agito might be another version of that because Sukuna said Nue final version or something like that. So is this the final digivolution of Nue? Also, it's funny to think that Gojo is suffering from success and having a it's lonely at the top moment, but also finally being happy because he's being challenged. That flashback to Toji, the problem and the answer, Fushigudo, was excellent. With that being said, I'll have to finish this with Unlimited Hollow. This is where I'm like, I don't trust you. And when I say I don't trust you, the you I'm referring to in this case is Gege Akutami. Now it's Gojo, absolute strength, right? But I don't think that it's going to work out. It simply can't. We have too many schemes and was it loose ends going on for Gojo to just win this. Too many schemes, loose ends. Sukuna hasn't even really been tapping into his actual curse technique like that this whole time. Now, that being said, he also experienced like some of those brain hemorrhages, so who knows if he can even invoke his domain. But I feel like Sukuna's been keeping it pretty simple with the cut attacks, keeping it pretty simple with the physical attacks, utilizing Fushigudo's innate technique, but not really tapping into what he has to offer in terms of the Jujutsu game. So I don't know. And then, of course, we got Kanjaku, who's doing his thing in the background. And he's just looking for an opportunity to advance his plots, right? Remember, this dude's like, yeah, let's just see what happens if we merge humanity with Tengen. Yeah. Like, awesome, I'm bored, so let me do this. So
the most evil motherfuckers do it just because they bored, bro.
There's too much going on for it to be like Gojo wins. I don't know. What do you think, Bryce?
I agree, man. This nigga Gojo about to die. He about to die too. I give him 2 chapters. Hey, I give him 2 chapters. Ironically, in itself, this is what the fuck Gojo wants. Like, yeah, he want peace and he trying to like look out for his students, but shit, man. His students cool. He know Yuji's truth.
Right.
You know? Right. He literally fighting his other student right now, technically.
Right. And apparently forgetting that it's his other student's body, right?
Right. And guess what? This is also homage to. I'm glad they got the main man Toji show up because this just proves my point again that if this motherfucker was still alive, we wouldn't have a Sukuna poem. No. I'm telling you, all you got to do is bring this nigga back again. Sukuna took over your.
Huh? I got a nightmare scenario for you. What if Toji's there? Sukuna takes over his body.
Toji kills Sukuna inside of him, but then now Toji just got like no. Or here's the fucked up situation. Because Toji has a binding vow on his body.
Right.
The moment Sukuna gets in there, it's like jumping headfirst into a black hole, and it only makes Toji stronger. He now has all of that Sukuna cursed energy just completely mute. turning him into Superman.
Oh, wait, Toji just starts flying and gets heat vision and shit. Like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. No, Toji's unbeatable to me. I'm sorry.
I
If
don't
they really
disagree.
wanted, if they really wanted to solve this problem, they would bring him back and be like, "Hey, Sakuna took over your son body.
Handle
Handle
it.
it. Is this worm back? You can have any weapons you want. Just go
Just
handle it,
run
bro.
back. Yeah.
We leaving.
Go ahead.
We going on vacation. We tired. All right now.
It's like, you need what, a week or two? I'm just trying to figure out why I tell Expedia. Like,
Right.
to buy these tickets.
I gotta time this out. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, because of the
Plane
Toji.
tickets is expensive right now, especially getting out of Japan.
Right. Toji, the problem, Fushigudo.
Told you the problem and the problem solver.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
Gojo was the strongest. And then Toji showed up
and humbled them quick,
and
actually.
humbled him
Um,
quickly.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, no, Gojo's gonna die in like 2 chapters. I think he's gonna do the unlimited hollow, but I don't. I think Sukuna's just gonna have something for that, and that's gonna take out Gojo. I think his story has been told. He served the purpose of the story. And now he finally got his wish. He got like that equal battle. So like he'll die
Yeah.
like peacefully.
He'll be a
Um,
legend for sure.
yeah, I don't think Sukuna's gonna be unscathed though. Sukuna's gonna be fucked up after this fight, or it's gonna do something to Megumi to wake him up or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know in that sense, but yeah.
Yeah.
But solid chapter. Gojo is the second is he's the truth, but in all honesty, he's the second strongest dude in this, and he's tied for second with Sukuna, but
Yeah.
nobody above Toji.
Yeah.
Nobody.
um, but it also makes me think too, it's like this is something we talked about too, like in our chat. And to me, I still think this is all like alleged. But
Mm-hmm.
like Bryce had sent a few short videos in the group chat about how we have some insight into actually what Yuji Itadori's curse technique may be, and it may have already actually been revealed to us in the story. There may have been some hints leading up to it this whole time, because, well, without going too much into it, because this is somebody else's theories, just remember that Yuji's mom is actually Kenjaku. Do not forget, there's a reason why Choso and them call Yuji a brother, right?
Yep.
But that's all. This is another reason why I think Gojo's gotta go. But that's also an unfinished loose end, bro. Like, what's going on there, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I got nothing else to say on Jujutsu Kaisen. Did you have any other thoughts, Bryce?
Nah, man, I've said my piece.
All right, let's get into My Hero Academia. I'm gonna make it quick. Kohei Horikoshi, 398, Toshinori Yagi, Rising Origin. Basically, flashback to All Might and what led to him becoming a hero, a symbol of peace. As well, it's like a flashback, flash forward between All Might meeting the seventh wielder of One for All, which I believe her name was like Nana, basically Shigaraki's grandma. Um, and the flash forward is, Iron Might versus Young for One. Now, where do we leave off? Young for One is on to Iron Might's stall tactics. How would I summarize this? Iron Might is running out of nano machines to fix his Iron Man armor. It's a race against time for both of them. My review: did All Might lose his eyebrows because of All for One too? um
Hmm.
Also, he's definitely dying. Ain't no way he's coming out of this alive. If he comes out of this alive, I mean, the series has low-key kind of been dead to me, but this is like, we're burying it now. Because the reason why I'm saying he's dying in the arc is because his Force Ghost that shows up in that astral plane that all the wielders of One for All have access to is it's starting to look a little bit more tangible. And Izuku seems to have picked up on that. Deku seems to have picked up on that. He's like, oh shit, they're in the middle of the fight. Wait, right? I really like that the car Hercules is a support tool, but also seems to be, in full Iron Man ripoff form, an AI that assists All Might.
Yeah.
Definitely getting the zone hop. Horikoshi never shows other nearby characters without hopping over to that zone. It's on brand. All Might is trying to run out that rewind clock, but now that Shigaraki for one has taken notice, it looks like this arc will drag on because it's never quick in this series and it's always mismanaged time wise. Like again, this is another situation where this story would have made sense maybe around the time where it was All Might, his literal last battle where he was like, all right, this might be the last time I might go muzzle form. And then he looks at the camera and he's talking to Midoriya like, it's your turn now. Would have been a good time, to give us this backstory then. But or does this current battle even need this backstory? If you're not gonna give us when All Might punched One for All's face off, I don't want to really see it if I'm being honest. But that's where I'm at. What do you think, Bryce?
I touched on this before. Like this fight just feels like unnecessary filler.
Right.
I will say I do appreciate the fact that we got that flashback between All Might and the seventh holder of One for All. But I just think if it like the more the fight plays out, the less meaning it actually has because like yeah, it shows that All Might. You know what? It's cool that like the relationship that All Might has um with One for All. I mean with All for One makes All for One like forget the fact like his mission like nah fuck this I'm gonna kill this motherfucker today.
Right.
That's cool. And like the time that he's wasting it helps with the story because now we know that he's getting weaker as he's getting younger now. But it's like man, like we had this fight already,
Yeah.
and we in a way we already said goodbye to All Might. And yeah, we did have like the thing like, dude, you're gonna die if you keep doing this, and like you do have to pay that forward. Um, man, you could have just did this in the fight with Deku and Shigaraki. Like when did they turn away from that? When Bakugo got killed, you could have just killed All
No,
Might
no.
right
I
there.
think I think there was still some more after Bakugo got killed.
But I'm saying though, like, well, if that's the case, then you might as well just put All Might in that situation and just
Because
have
I'm only saying that because remember we saw Shigaraki molted out of his hands form into something else, right? When he
yeah.
was starting to lose or whatever. But no, go on, go on. I digress. Go on.
No, it's just yeah, man. I said it before. I don't know if it was last week or the week before last, but yeah, if you're gonna, I'd rather they one shot it All Might to have it mean something rather than kind of to lengthen it out because like it just there's I wish they didn't start the Deku Shigaraki fight so soon already. I wish they would have pulled a Naruto where Naruto like was jumping around different battlefields and was
Mm-hmm.
doing shit, you know? Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Deku could have been over here a little bit, or maybe like, just something. But like the fact that we know that this Deku Shigaraki fight has been going on this entire time and we ain't seen
Mm-hmm.
shit. Bakugo still dying and they bringing him back, and that's been the case the entire time. Um, and it just feels extremely long. It feels like the tournament of power arc where it's like, yeah, this tournament's 5 minutes, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is 100 some fucking episodes,
Right.
right? Yeah, honestly, I'll say that this isn't bad. This isn't a bad chapter, but like, I've already written off my hero, so I'm just like, okay,
That's what
cool.
it
Like,
is, man. That's what it is. But I mean, it's like
man,
we're
well,
we're seeing it through. We're seeing it
we
through
seeing it through. What I'm telling you
reluctantly.
right now, we doing a count on some of these new manga to get to 25.
Yeah, once they do, we're switching. Um,
Martial Master Asumi went to 20. They had 27 now. That's all I'm saying. Undead Unlock. Nah, I don't know about Undead Unlock. I
I
gotta
tried getting into it. I don't think it's me.
do
Um,
retry. Do retry. We
I
need
don't
nine
think
new
do retry
chapters.
is good for. I don't think do retry is going to be here for a long time, bro.
You think it's gonna be a one-stop shop?
I think it's well,
You don't think it's
you'll
gonna
see.
like? Do you think it's gonna have an ending, or you think that's just gonna get dropped?
No, I think it's going to have an ending. I'm just saying it's not. I don't think it's going past 30.
It's gonna be that short? Damn.
Bro, you telling me like you were letting it stack up a bit, right?
Yeah.
All right, let me know when you're caught up.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like we'll have the same conclusion as me because it's given that vibe that it's here for a good time, not a long time.
Okay. Okay. Um, there's also Dan to Dan. That's all I'm saying, TJ.
I got to catch up on that.
Get on that train, fam. Get on that train. You won't be disappointed. You'll be a lot of things, but not disappointed.
With that though, let's talk about our favorite chapter this week. What'd you like? What'd you not like? No,
Favorite
favorite chapter.
chapter
What'd you like?
this week has to be um I'm going to go I'm gonna go I'll go Jujutsu Kaisen. It was a very interesting chapter, and you know, just kind of play it out with Gojo. Like, this was the fight so intense, but this kind of felt like a I'm ready for it to be over. But so now I'm starting to get that antsy feeling when reading it. So
Yeah.
well, it's getting your blood pumping. So
To
it's
be
doing
fair, it's also a stressful read.
this is stressful. It really.
um, yeah.
What
Uh,
about you, TJ?
for me, which one really got me like, ooh, honestly, bro, Martial Master Asumi was pretty good.
It was good. It was
It was
good.
a good chapter, like a good conclusion. Like, I'm surprised that because we both read Kenichi and we both read
Thinking Asaru?
Minoru Karate
Yeah,
Shokoshi
yeah,
Minoru.
yeah,
In terms of, I'd say Minoru more so is a little bit more like Asumi in that
yeah.
it actually is trying to stay somewhat realistic to actual techniques that are used in
Yep,
these art forms, right?
yep.
And the fact that they included like the calf kick and what strategies to use, if you're a grappler versus like an actual mixed martial artist that was pretty fucking good. And I will
Yeah,
say too, like, maybe the names are a little bit different, but the way the techniques are described is pretty good as well. Like either the author has some MMA or martial arts experience, or whoever they have advising them on that tip is doing a good job because I'm impressed. And the artwork is pretty solid too.
yeah.
But this chapter was good, man.
And just the way it like kind of goes about the story, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Mm-hmm. We
um
finally got
puts you
that conflict, the overarching conflict between the brothers, right?
yep, yep. And
Um,
just kind of the way they did it so subtly. You
mm-hmm.
knew the brother was gonna come into play eventually, but he came in so soon and
Yeah,
so randomly it was perfect.
and it was
So
the
that's
stuff was like you ain't strong enough yet. It won't be worth anything. I'm gonna just
mhm.
watch you fight my underling, get your weight up, then we can talk.
Yep. And
Yeah.
not to mention, like, we're gonna follow two characters. We're gonna follow a men's division and a women's division. So
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be pretty interesting because
And we just got to set up for a rival for now in Himekawa, right? Because he
yep,
says like, let's fight again in the pro circuit. It's like, all
yep,
right, we got that set up, and then it even looks like, well, okay. I don't know if you get this feeling with his Asumi's homie who's there too, who's like kind of is like, all right, you don't really know much about this MMA stuff as a sport, so let me help you out. The one who ended up kind of getting bullied and
yeah, yeah,
or whatever, and he's like kind of hanging on. I feel like he's gonna be kind of a forgotten character in a little bit.
yeah,
Like once Asumi gets to that next tier, next level, he's gonna kind of be put by the wayside. I hope that's not the case because it'd also be cool to see like another person kind of get a glow up too in the long run. But
mhm,
if I know my anime and manga tropes, I feel like he's gonna get left by the wayside, and we're gonna be like, oh yeah, he was with him in the beginning. Like I'll put it this way, he doesn't give me a Krillin vibe. He gives me like a Yamcha vibe, if that makes sense.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Not
it
not
doesn't
not
help.
like not like he's a coward or he's just gonna, but it's like he gives me like a he's just gonna kind of move away from it or be forgotten. Not that Yamcha was forgotten either, but I don't know. Krillin, you know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
Krillin
yeah.
kept up with it. Yamcha didn't, you
He
know.
ain't. He don't have no rival vibes, no equal vibes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I get you. Like, I do think we're gonna get a rival eventually. I don't think his. I think his brother is like that. Come to like an Itachi type of situation where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta build up to you,
Mm-hmm.
but like a rival that kind of makes him like to just kind of have a back and forth with. I think that's down the line.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think it helps for like he gets his ass. He keeps getting bullied and his ass whooped. That's the problem.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think that could be solved if he like wins a fight.
Mm-hmm. Confidence booster.
Confidence booster. Like you gotta get a dub on you. Otherwise, you just getting your ass whooped. Though he might be a speedwagon where he's just like knowledgeable about
Mm-hmm.
like fight shit. So he's
Mm-hmm.
just the one that explains all the techniques,
Yeah.
which will keep you in the game because it's like people gonna see your face.
Hey, Speedwagon was that dude. Uh,
Speedwagon, what is that
like
dude?
he did kind of help them transition from the initial arc where it was just vampires. So, all right, let's start using some of these forces like when Zappelli came on the scene. Um,
Speedwagon is the number one hype man. Ain't
yeah,
nobody beat Speedwagon on the
yeah,
hype man.
him and the Joe Stars like
Yeah.
this. I'm crossing my fingers. With that though, let's transition to the topic of the week, which was what, Bryce?
What is one of our favorite mangas that we do not, a manga that we like, but we do not want to see as an anime?
All right.
You want to start or you want me to start?
I can start mine short.
Okay.
Uh, it was I don't think I had any business reading this manga as a kid. It was a seinen. Um, it was called Wolf Guy Wolf and Crest. Look it up if you want to. You don't have to, but I will just say, yeah, that should not be an anime. Like, it should not. The material is too dark, like too dark. Um, you know how sometimes we get those series that have a tendency to portray people as high schoolers, but it's like, nigga, that's a full-fledged adult.
Yeah.
Is it's one of those, and the material just gets dark. It involves werewolves, damsels in distress to a certain degree, and this one high school thug character who's got ties to the Yakuza who seems more demon than human, but you can take, I mean, the protagonist is this dude who's a werewolf who, moves into this town, starts at this new high school, so he immediately becomes a target for the Yakuza bully or whatever when a couple of lackeys try to test him and he shows them that he's not that dude to be tested, so on. So it just escalates, but typical plot. But it's just, I don't know that should ever be an anime. And then honorable mention, I was gonna say Baki Son of Ogre with the Pickle Saga, but it's too late for that now.
That shit getting animated, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's been out, right? And it looks like they're covering the full Son of Ogre because based on what I've seen, clips I've seen is like, oh, it's covering the whole series. But with that, I'll pass it over to you, Bryce.
It's pretty simple for me. Sun can rock.
Oh, that okay.
Sun can rock.
That's like on the same vibes as Wolf Guy Wolfencrest. It's
Yeah.
borderline. It's borderline hentai. Yeah,
Fam,
yeah.
I said to myself, I was just gonna reread it because I always had it as like one of my favorite mangas.
It's not
Um,
bad. It's just like
it's
when it
not bad.
goes to that side, it like
It
goes to that
goes there.
side.
It
Yeah.
fucking goes there. Um, there was one character. I forgot how dirty she got done.
Mm.
Like, holy shit. And funny enough, this is the same person that made what's the doctor?
Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone. And it's
Yeah.
like
This is what he was doing before
this
Dr.
was what he
Stone.
was
That's why I
doing
was
before
like,
Dr.
when I saw
Stone.
Dr. Stone, I was like, Boichi, what's he doing? But I was like,
Like,
This is
bro,
supposed to
like,
be wholesome, bro. What he have you seen
there's
this
no
content?
wholesome in
Ain't
that man.
no
Like, I'm
right.
surprised.
Yeah.
He wrote Sun Ken Rock. He's like, I ain't got nothing left in me for that.
Right. Right.
Um, but yeah, if you read Sunken Rock, you understand. Don't get me wrong. It's some of the most gangster, most awesome,
Mm-hmm.
badass fights, badass characters, badass progression. But just like the level of when it gets dirty, when it gets indecent, it fucking
It kind
goes
of
there.
goes there.
Yeah,
But with that being if you take the indecent stuff aside, like Bryce was saying, plot, character development, and also artwork.
artwork
We
is
got to give Boichi his props because artwork. I'm not just talking about character design. I'm talking about cityscapes, urban landscapes, so on and so forth. However you want to phrase it, vehicles. Even when it gets unserious, it's very high level artwork. It's
yeah,
just when it crosses that line, it just like bulldozes the line. I don't know
yeah,
how
man.
you'd have to read it at your own risk.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's still a very good series.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love a good like still like if it's like something that happens and it goes to one of the characters' faces to have their reaction, it's always drawn beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Well,
yeah,
I think we did it.
yes we did.
Um, with that, y'all, this concludes another episode of the Now Mind You podcast. This was, of course, episode 83 manga. Thank you as always for listening. Thank you for following. Thank you for subscribing. We are available on all podcast platforms, which include Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, our YouTube channel, which also if you're more of a user of YouTube itself, you can always click the video, play it in the background, do your thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Um yeah, we're on Stitcher as well. We're on SoundCloud. We're on all these available services. Honestly, just look for Now Mind You podcast on your podcast platform of choice, and we should come up. If
yeah.
you're
We
looking for us
everywhere,
on
baby.
social media, we're on everything at Now Mind You Pod. That's NOWMINDYOUPOD. You can find me on Instagram at Tuss4skate. That's TUSS number 4_SKATE. Where can they find you, Bryce?
And you can find me on Instagram at Axe_on. So that's AXE_ONCA Bay Bay.
Y'all can find Matt on everything because his brand is just that strong.
Strong.
Matt Hambrick, right? MATTHAMBRIC. Thank y'all for listening. And if you stick around, we do have a combat episode coming up next. But if not, hey, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Hey.